Good news. We're back.
Less than a week to go before the presidential election today, both candidates talking about a comment from somebody who's not in the race.
WGN's Angelica Sanchez has the latest.
All that and more on Good News Travels Fast. Come on, let's go.
Favorite game?
So if you're watching,
今日もお疲れ様です。おみつと申します。私は静岡県で夜勤のお仕事をしています。
oh, the Yankees.
お仕事終わりにキャンプをするのが
How they managed
私
to
の
completely
楽しみです。
screw themselves out of an opportunity
独特な生活リ
to
ズ
at
ムな
least
ので
get back to
キャンプ
get
場
back
に
to
は
LA.
なかなか行け
Don't you at
ず
least want one more night in
今の
Los
一角をお
Angeles?
借りしてそこで許
Apparently
可
not.
をいただいてキャンプ
A
をしています。
5-run lead squandered in probably the most mistake-ridden inning of baseball in the history of playoff baseball. It was amazingly bad news Bears bad. And it started with Aaron Judge.
私が大好きなあれを
It just
持っ
and
て
it
きま
just
した。
got worse. It just got progressively worse. Aaron Judge botches a routine out,
テントサウナ
which
と
just started this chain reaction of events that will not be lived
今回
down.
は大自
Now,
然の
granted,
中でテント
The
サウ
Yankees
ナ
are
を
trailing in
楽
the
しんで
series.
仕
So what was
事
the
の
chances
疲れ
that
を
they were going
癒そう
to
と思います。
come back and tie the whole,
で、
what were the chances they were going to come back
準
from
備を
seven
してい
down?
きます。さっと完成させて
Slim.
整いたいです。
There's no reason to believe that. I mean, no team has come back from down 3 games. So there's no reason to believe that this was going to be the first year. But didn't you want one more? Didn't you want just one more night in Los Angeles? Just a chance? I've never seen. Garrett Cole was dealing. And then if you saw the 5th inning, Judge error. The one that came after that I can't recall. And then Garrett Cole doesn't go and cover first base on a pretty routine grounder to first base. And inexplicably, a 5-run lead went to a tie game in an inning. A 5-run 5th inning for the Dodgers. Back and forth, the two teams went. The Yankees took the lead again, 6-5. Couldn't hold it, and now are 1 out away from series over and done. And I'm telling you, to have watched it, holy shit. To have seen it with my own eyes. Dave Roberts is like, I can't believe we're about to win this shit. No one can. It couldn't have been. Wow. And there you have it. The Los Angeles Dodgers are World Series champions in 5 games in New York. This one is one that will, oh my God, Yankee fan. New Yorkers have every reason in the world after everything that's gone on in New York the last, what's today? Wednesday? Everything since Sunday, ever since this weekend, New York has just been a dumpster fire. Look at Aaron Judge. Oh man, that's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt. We are the champions. Raise a hand up, Dodger fan. You're that. You are it. The Los Angeles Dodgers' 8th World Series title. And honestly, I mean, there was a catcher's interference in it. A super sloppy performance by the Yankees. This one is going to sting. Again, there was no reason to believe that they were going to come back and win this series. Other than if you win this game, you give yourself a chance once you go back to LA, right? All the pressure's on the Dodgers. All the pressure's on the Dodgers to bring it back. To win at home. I mean, Garrett Cole was dealing. And then it all fell apart in the 5th. And, man, it kind of reminds me of what happened to the Orange Man Bad campaign. It really was kind of one of those, what an eerie parallel that can be drawn. Freddie Freeman had a fucking amazing series. Good on him. And congratulations to the Dodgers. Fuck it. Round of applause. This is why they play the games. This is why you play fucking games, man. It was unbelievable. Unbelievably bad. How many errors did the Yankees? 3 errors they finished this game with. And I'm telling you, they were demonstrative. They just played really sloppy baseball for a team that was about to get eliminated. You just cannot believe. I mean, Garrett Cole's dealing. They work up a 5-run lead for him. They score 3 off top, add another run in the 2nd, add another run in the 3rd. Okay, we're working. All right. See you in Los Angeles. It looked like the game was salted away the way Garrett Cole was in. And if you saw that 5th inning, you know like I know. I've never seen a team shit the bed. People hate to use the C word in sports, when talking about athletes. They play high-pressure professional gym. Millions of dollars are on the line. Not really. All their salaries are guaranteed. But you know what I'm saying. Prestige and all that poetic guff. And to watch a team fold like that, this will be spoken about. It was, I mean, congratulations to the Dodgers. Go ahead and celebrate, LA. You're world champs. Go on and celebrate, Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Dodgers are world champs. Mookie Betts taking it in. Got his 3rd World Series title. That's got to feel good. It couldn't have happened to a more, you know what? I drew the parallel off top to the implosion. If you saw the title, I'm going all over the board tonight, so strap in. Buckle up. I should pop up. I want to test a couple things out. I should put in the chat a video link that anybody can just hop on. Fuck it, dude. I might do that. Put that in the chat. It's really, 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 really disappointing that there won't be more postseason baseball because, quite honestly, between game 1, both of the games that Garrett Cole pitched, I felt like were just competitively great for a measure, and then just incredibly bad from a decision, and then in this game, from a mistake standpoint. The Yankees will never live this down. The 2024 New York Yankees, for all intent and purpose, I'm sorry, but they choked. They completely choked it away. They bit. They swallowed. They choked.
Well, let's make sure it's later, not sooner.
I don't know what that means. So, welcome in to another episode of Good News Travel Fast. I am Oren Lamena. Thank you for joining. For those of y'all that popped in, I appreciate it. And what I want to try and do is I want to have a conversation for as long as entertain me. I have these conversations with myself because it's just how I work my shit out. And I was so entertained with the idea of the World Series. I was so entertained with the the nostalgia of it. I really do at my core. Sorry. At my core, I really do love baseball. I like I don't know, it's like a skills competition. Shohei Ohtani. Good for you, dude. Congratulations. He left the Angels and ended up getting the payoff, landing in Los Angeles. I think no one deserves it less than the governor of California, Gavin Newsom. I think he's a POS, but Dodger fan. I know Dodger fans. I like Dodger fans. I don't really have a problem with the Dodgers. And good for them. Good for the club. Good for a Dodger fan base. No problem with the win. They earned it. They deserve it. It's got to feel a little weird. Maybe not weird, but getting it in this fashion when you just know. I mean, everybody knows that the Yankees choked that one away. Everybody knows it. And that's got to feel...
You blew it!
You blew it. That's got to feel terrible. Horrible. Especially after the win that they got. When they were able to sort of give themselves some life. You're down 3-1. It's like, all right, boys, we got our ace going. We got our ace going in Game 5. Give ourselves a chance. And he came out and dealt scoreless baseball, hitless, I want to say, through 4 innings. And then explosion. It was really an implosion. It was like that submarine that... Can we talk about it? Is it too soon to talk about the submarine that went down looking for the Titanic? Probably too soon. There was a young kid on that. The dad took him on a ride that he didn't want to go on. Rest in peace to all. Rest in peace. But that's what it was. They completely imploded in the 5th inning, and now we're here talking about the former Brooklyn Dodgers, who are now the Los Angeles Dodgers. That's where they got their name from, because when they used to play stickball, those kids were dodging cars in the streets. And now they're in gridlock traffic on the 405. Yes, I lived in Los Angeles, so I can talk about it. Gridlocked on the 405, just sweating it out. Fucking suck it. I mean, God. Driving to and from Chavez Ravine in general, just up the 5. Into just, whoa. But hey, it's LA. We love LA, right? We love it. It's California. Best run state in the union. Nope. Rampant homelessness. Out of control taxes. Just beautiful coastline. Wildfires. God, you gotta love California. My nephew's in California though, so big up to him, and so is my older sister. Big up, shout out to her. Shout out to Jamar, Kinyemi, and June Audrey, and my brother David. Shout out to my brother David. Who else I got? My uncle Carl Neverman's out in Pasadena. I love Los Angeles. I mean, I was traveling to LA during COVID, just chilling. You know what I mean? Going and having my way, just chilling, really. Traveling like the traveler that I am. Let's get something better. Oh, this dude. Have you guys ever watched this guy? Super. I love ASMR cooking videos. That's a whole bull. He's roasting an entire bull on a steel spit. Super. Anyway, Azerbaijan. Yeah, I love everything that is. LA was amazing during COVID because no traffic. It was so trippy. The skyline cleared up, no smog. I could go from Gardena to the beach. I mean, I was living my I was doing my big one. And it was so sweet. And I grew to love that place during that time, that magical time. And then it just went back to being Los Angeles. And that son of a bitch, Gavin Newsom, has run California into the goddamn ground. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys about congratulations to the Dodgers. No, seriously. Congrats to the Dodgers. Dodger fan. One more time for Dodger fan. You earned it. I don't care what they say about the Yankees completely shitting the bed. You earned it. You kicked their ass the way that you were supposed to. In sports, nobody gives a damn about, oh, that team, blah, 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 take it away. At the end of the day, give me my goddamn trophy. I don't care why they booted it. They booted it. We were there to pick it up, so fuck it. Right? Nobody's trying for second place. Nobody's going to whine for the Yankees. And nor should they. There's no reason in the world that team should have been in the position that we're in with the murderer's row of bats that they had. The way that they came in, the way that Game 1 sealed their fate. That decision by Aaron Boone, who undoubtedly deserves all of the blame, because why not? It's Aaron Boone, and his brother used to wear frosted tips, Brett Boone. Excuse you. But from the minute he pulled Garrett Cole, I think 88 pitches he pulled him. And it was just, you overthought it, man. 2-1 game, you overthought it, and that was when their fate was sealed. And it pretty much went that way. You know, you find yourself in a 3-0 hole. You come back, you win game 4, and it's like, okay, it's 3-1. And again, today, Garrett Cole was dealing. And that 5th inning was just god awful. Let's see if we can find it on Twitter. God awful. X. Are we supposed to call this thing X now? Do I have to call it that? Do I have to call it X, or can I just keep calling it Twitter? How long do we keep calling it Twitter? Let's see if we can find pieces of that 5th inning that were just so. Juan Soto was the last player to leave the dugout, pointing to the sky and thanks before departing. Was this his last moment in a Yankee uniform? I mean, who gives a shit? Right? That's not the question that you ask. Look at Aaron Judge. We got to get to his error. Tisk, tisk, tisk. A tisket, a tasket, a blue and yellow basket. You blew it, yellow basket. You had it all in front of you.
You blew it!
You had it all in front of you, and then you blew it. Let's see if we can find some of the amazing errors from that 5th inning. God. The one where Garrett Cole doesn't... I think the one that was most surprising was a guy who... I mean, he's pointing at the first baseman like, no, you go. And it's like, cover first base. There's no... That's like Little League Baseball 101. You leg it out to the bag regardless. We've seen every pitcher from the minute we started. What is that? We've seen every pitcher. What if you pull it? We've seen every pitcher in that situation. You leg it out. You race the hitter to the... It's almost like they were... Dare I say, it felt kind of throwy. It felt like inviting a roast comedian. Like, I don't think either one of these presidential candidates wants to win this fucking... I know Joe Biden is not interested in Kamala Harris winning because... Anyway, it's like inviting a roast comedian, a crass little so-and-so. I have my thoughts on Tony Hinchcliffe. It's like coming down the home stretch. Imagine this, if you will. We got time. Imagine this, if you will. Well, I mean, the World Series is over. You guys don't care. I've already detailed the film. Imagine being in complete control of a situation. All you got to do is just not fuck it up, right? You're painted. You have a particular reputation for being, let's say, I don't know, racist. I don't know. Right. And so what you do is you invite a comedian who he himself has had issues with being labeled racist. So you're coming down the stretch. You think you're kicking ass. Your people think that you're kicking ass. I don't have a dog in the hunt. I want to make that clear. I want this to be abundantly clear to everyone listening so that you don't do your stupid little painting of what you think I am. I despise the two-party system. I think that both of these candidates suck ass. I think that we got railroaded as a voting electorate the minute they told us that there's an electoral college and that your vote matters, when truthfully speaking, we all know it doesn't. Ask Hillary Clinton and everyone that voted for her. That said, I find drama hilarious now. I found myself in this place where politics are concerned, a lot where life in America is concerned. I found myself in this zen place that I just am desperately holding on to maintaining, that can observe what's going on, do what I need to do to be a positive effect on the community that I'm in, the people's lives who I have direct effect in. I don't always get it right. I'm not always killing it, but I'm trying, damn it. I contribute where I can. I give thoughts where I'm asked. Try and give good advice in other places. I sit, I listen. But when it comes to that other shit, I observe it, I participate to an extent, and I pull back. Because until there's real fixes put in place, I refuse to just play and act like things aren't as we all know that they are. I refuse to act like that. I didn't say I refuse to participate. I said I refuse to act like things are a way that we know that they aren't. So I look at the thing that pisses me off the most about this system that we live under is that people are looking at one another and saying that person's bad because they're going to go into a booth and pull a lever for a guy that I think is bad. Okay. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. That person, if you like Kamala Harris, you are a communist. Or if you like Donald Trump, you're a racist. And it's like the overarching theme to our politics is politicians say stuff, right? Rarely ever doing the stuff that they say, right? People suffer, or not, to a certain extent. Well, let me just say, people below a certain economic strata suffer to a certain extent. People above a certain economic strata tell the people below the certain economic strata what they should be thinking, because of course they're the smart ones. They've got all the money. Things continue on, never really getting better. We've watched the middle class go like this. People are pitted against each other fighting. Politicians continue to say stuff that they may or may not do, will or will not accomplish. Does the quality of your life get any better? It's a roll of the dice. But hey, your vote counts. That's how I look at it. So in those spaces, I'm not a pessimist. I'm just more a realist. I just look at it and I say, until you give us a viable third, maybe even four, I don't know, dare I say 5 parties, real choice, I know that what we're choosing is DA versus public defender, both working for the state. Politicians say things, just watch the policy. You don't have to tell me much. I just watch what you do and the effect that it has. So, that being said, imagine being the Trump campaign. You go to New York, you're coming down the stretch, you feel like you got it in the bag. The polls might be alluding to the fact that you do. Some polls say that you do, some polls say that you don't. And what you decide to do is bring out a guy who's known to be edgy, to say the least, to insult an entire island full of people. Maybe you knew he was going to do it. Maybe you didn't. If you didn't know he was going to do it, how didn't you know he was going to do that? Did it occur to anyone in the fold to ask the guy, hey, what do you plan on saying when you get up there? Because the R guy, he's got an image problem. People think, even though they're wrong, people think he's a racist. So we just want to make sure that you don't say anything that would reinforce that. They never ask. It's like the Yankees in the 5th inning. That's the only parallel I'm drawing. It's like Garrett Cole, bang, routine grounder up the first base line. First baseman Fields said grounder. And you stand pointing at him like, race the guy to the bag. I'm not going to help out here. I'm just going to, like, what? You can't write this shit. You cannot write this shit. And where I thought that we were going to get, all I want is to get to the end of this goddamn election cycle and not have the world, because what ends up happening, and I really do mean this part, what ends up happening is that innocent people get hurt. That's who I'm with the people. My side will always be the people. And I feel like in a bipolar, two poles, which is really a unipolar system. There's one. I don't need to do I need to? Let me ask you a question. I asked my buddy this question today, and I'm just asking. Think what you will. I'm just asking the question. If you know the history of this guy, hold on, let me just pull his picture up. Let's say Dick Cheney resume. This is just my question to anyone, and this is just where I'm just a curious guy trying to get to the bottom of shit. What is this man known for? Let's say Dick Cheney. Let's go controversy. Let's see what comes up. I mean, I know what it is, but I'd rather read it. Oh my God, did I really write that like that? See, I can't type, and I'm a terrible typist, if you haven't noticed. Sometimes a bad speller, but I get it done. Let's see if anything comes up. Biography, out of the loop. Okay, let's just go with this. I know it's a Reddit, but let's see what this thread says. Why is Dick Cheney so universally hated? I don't know. You ever heard of the Iraq War? 9/11? Afghanistan? What? I guess this was before my time. It just seems like there's a lot more anger towards Cheney than directed at Bush, with Bush being the actual person who sent us to war. Did he? I mean, yeah, the commander-in-chief, but it seems like everyone should be angry at him, so why is there so much hostility towards Dick Cheney? And then you get this guy. This is 10 years ago. Because Cheney is alleged to be the ringleader of the neocon group who ginned up interest in the Iraq War, delivered what were, in retrospect, laughable expectations from the war, executed the war on the cheap, and despite overwhelming evidence that he and the neocons were less than truthful and negligent in the buildup and management of the war, continues to stick to his bullshit stories. Also laid the shaky financial foundation for the USA, as reflected in his mantra, deficits don't matter. Let's see. Dick Cheney, deficits don't matter. That's beautiful. Deficits don't matter to certain people. You know what I mean? If you ain't going to suffer the pain of it, of course a deficit doesn't matter. It's only the people on the tail end of it who experience inflation where deficits matter. Dick Cheney. Let's just see if he said it for real. Deficits don't matter. It's such a sensitive time, and I know everybody's real sensitive. Everybody's super sensitive. Dick Cheney, Reagan proved deficits don't matter. They don't? Well, that's great. Listen, everybody. Good news, everybody. Hold on. Good news, everybody.
Way to go, neato, gang. Yes, boy. That is good news. I'll be honest. Congrats. That is good
Deficits
news.
don't matter. So right now, go out, you guys, and just overdraft your account. Just spend until you've spent into the red, and keep spending, because deficits don't matter. Reagan proved it. Come on. This is old hat. What are we talking about? Let's see how many people, the death toll. This is morbid, but let's go Iraq.
war death toll. And you have to count Afghanistan too, right? Because they got us into that one too. Based on provided search results, here's a summary of the estimated death toll of the Iraq War. Civilian deaths according to blah, 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 29,000. Peak annual deaths. Peak annual deaths. That means every year. 29,526. Total deaths, the cost of the war project, a team of scholars, experts estimates 268,000 to 295,000 people were killed in the violence in the Iraq War from March 2003 to October 2018. 182,272 to 204,575 civilians were killed during this period. So you add those together, about 500,000 people, documented deaths. The WikiLeaks Iraq war logs recorded 109,000 deaths, including 66,000 civilian deaths from January 2004 to December 2009. Estimated excess deaths. Oh, here we go. A Brown University report suggests that the Iraq War contributed to 4.5 million excess deaths across conflicts in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iraq, Syria, Libya, Somalia, Yemen. I won't continue reading because that's morbid. But so we're talking about weapons of mass destruction. We're talking about, all right, so, okay. I just want to use that as the backdrop. Oh, wait, there's this. Dick Cheney shoots friend in face. Hunting accident. I love how this thing is depicted. I will never, ever read anything on Wikipedia if I can avoid it. Harry Whittington was a longtime Austin lawyer and largely behind-the-scenes player in the Texas Republican politics in February 2006 when he became a central actor in what came close to being a life-and-death drama involving then Vice President Dick Cheney. The Corpus Christi Caller-Times reports Whittington, then 78, was part of a quail hunting party on a South Texas ranch with Cheney and others when the vice president actually accidentally shot him in the face and torso after a covey of game birds took flight. Dozens of tiny bird shot pellets peppered. It's such a funny term. Dozens of tiny birdshot pellets peppered his face and torso. Whittington lost consciousness and was taken to the hospital. He suffered what at the time was called a minor heart attack. Oh, it was only a minor heart attack. Come on, just fucking walk it off. Because some of the lead shot hit blood vessels near his heart. The problem is that if I'm not mistaken, quails don't fly. Let's look. Or do they? Do quail fly? I thought they were like a ground bird. Quails are capable of flight, but their flying habits vary depending upon the species and circumstances. Here's a summary. Some species, the Cortunix japonica, and other old world quails are highly migratory and fly long distances in the wild. Other species, like the New World quails, I think those are the ones we have, are non-migratory and tend to avoid flying, preferring to escape by running through dense vegetation. I'm fairly sure that we have New World quails. Is Texas? I love AI because it answers all my questions no matter how poorly I word them. Is Texas New World quail territory? Let's find out. No. What kind of quail are in Texas? Gotta word it right. Texas. Jesus. Quail species in Texas. Northern bobwhite. Okay, so these are the runners. They don't fly. So the interesting thing about what the story is, we'll go back to it. What the story is with old vice president was that, they're hunting quail, they're quail hunting, and then a group of birds went up in the sky, but these aren't the type of birds that fly, so why would they be in the sky? And so he's trying to shoot some that go up in the sky, and he ends up accidentally shooting his homeboy in the face. Now, you'll say, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. I'm just saying, Nothing ever came of it. He actually shot a guy and just walked away from it. Yeah, he just shot a guy and walked away from it. And there's many rumors as to why him and Whittington got out of it. Here's what Whittington, now 91 and still practicing law, told the caller he remembers about what he says just keeps coming back. It's the horror. He wakes up like, ah! Okay, let's see. The movie trailer shows Cheney firing from the backseat of a vehicle. Is that what happened? Let's see. The quail hunting that we were doing was behind bird dogs. So we were walking, and as the dogs found the birds, well, then you walk up to a covey, and then they flush, and you shoot. So there wasn't any automobile involved in the hunt at all. What do you remember after the shot was fired? I remember passing out and smelling gunpowder. I'm sorry. I remember passing out and smelling gunpowder is one of the most entertaining things I've read, and I don't know why. And then I was out for a while after that. Have you seen any promotion for the movie? Wait, there's a movie? Did I miss something? Okay. What movie? Oh, Dick Cheney movie. Have you seen any promotion for the movie? No. Some of my children have seen the trailer. The hunting scene, doesn't sound too familiar. But if the movie studio spending as much money as they have, as I've heard they're spending on it, they must think it will sell at the box offices. Do you plan on seeing the movie once it's released? We'll see it. I've heard so much about it, but I wouldn't expect it to be an Academy Award winner. Yeah, not for the guy that shot me. I'm not, like, why do you keep asking me about this? As far as the hunt itself went, do you and former vice president keep in touch? Yeah, occasionally. He was here. I guess it was sometime a few months ago. He and I went to dinner. We're just acquaintances. Would you be friends with a guy who shot you in the face? Do you still hunt quail? I'm not hunting anymore. I've aged a little bit since then. Yeah, I mean, he's 91 when they're asking him these questions. 12 years ago, he was 79. Maybe it was just an asking it. Maybe I'm just overreacting. Anyway, Dick Cheney is widely, I think, considered to be a less than savory character in history. So when a guy like that backs, out of nowhere, the architect of 20 years of war, hell, death, destruction, rape, and pillage. I'm not saying things out of school, by the way. That's widely known as his resume. Is co-signing one of the candidates in the race. I just tend to look at that candidate and go, I don't think he had a change of heart and became a good guy. I think he sees something that he can use. What can I use you for? Just my opinion. Don't shoot the messenger. Whereas on the other side, you apparently have a mob boss bonehead who doesn't know enough to not have a... His team is so bad. How bad are they? They're so bad. They're so bad that they completely missed. They completely missed the opportunity to pat down a lone gunman who I'm pretty sure mailed it in for the campaign. And then, in a comedy of errors similar to the Yankees' fifth inning, then President Biden, for whatever reason, jumps into the conversation and re-weaponizes the term garbage today. You guys see that one? It's all very comical. We live in a movie. Biden, garbage. That's why I would much rather just watch. I meditate. I walk around with my shoes off. Oh man, they're going in. Oh, Vivek Robinson. Here it is.
In my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization is seen as unconscionable, and it's un-American.
It's not American.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of seen as unconscionable, and it's un-American.
So 2 days ago, it was sacrilege. And now, what do you do with that? And this person apparently thinks that Trump supporters are overreacting to it. I just think that this whole entire election cycle should just wrap up. What are the chances? Let me ask you guys this. What are the chances that next Tuesday, which can't come fast enough, I swear to God, what are the chances that next Tuesday comes and goes without a hitch, without controversy, and is followed by a concession, an easy concession from the loser, and we just get back to living our lives? What are the chances? Let's say over under, put it in a percentage point. Over under the chances of a quick concession and a returning to normalcy. 70% in favor of, let's say 70-30. 70%, it's going to go back to normal, we'll be fine. 30% chaos ensues. I'm putting all my money on that 70%. I have to. In order to maintain sanity. I'm just going to put it on, I'm going to put it on the 70% that people are going to find, they're going to find their better selves. Their calmer selves. No, the economy's not going to help. But, you know, you'll just pull it together magically. We'll just all just, you know. I was listening to a guy who I respect, 19 Keys, on a serious note, chopping it up about what are our responsibilities. Because I know I get on here and it's laugh, yuck, yuck, yuck. But I'm really serious. Like I care about my fellow Americans, the people who I think are getting the short end of the stick. I think the voter doesn't have enough time in their real life to really study these issues. These very nuanced conversations, because you're trying to feed your family. You're trying to put food on the table. You got a job, hopefully that you like. Many people in America have jobs that they hate, and you got to work it. You got to work the job, because if you don't work, you don't eat. That's the way this place is built. And, you know, getting to the money is the only mission. From the minute you get out of whatever schooling, however far you go, it really becomes an issue of, can you race yourself to the top? And it's a very individual exploit. You're in it by yourself. Yes, you have family. Yes, you want to build a family, but you're in it by yourself, for yourself. And I think it's worn on people. It's a very, I was going to say lonely, but everybody's doing it, right? Everybody's doing it. What's so crazy is it's that people seem isolated in their lives outside of your ecosystem. You know, you got your mom or your dad, your brothers, your sisters, your friends, your ecosystem. But everybody's going at life on this very individual basis. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Individuality, rugged individuality. Surrounded by other people doing the same thing in these pods, and we never ever look to our left and our right and say, man, what if we collectively bargained to do this differently? This is my dream. Yes, I'm a hippie. Do I want to move into a commune full of, no. But I think collective living is, quite honestly, the way that we're returning to. It's the way that you're supposed to function. If I may for a second, and I know I said chaos and all that, if I may for a second, there are structures in place. Let me show you guys something. Let me show you something. Show you fancy ball. Let me show you fancy ball playing Negro something.
International trade isn't easy. It takes time.
I find this wildly interesting, entertaining. What is this? Devori? Oh man, you guys want to watch Devori Darkins? This guy is really smart. Now, I don't want to frighten anyone. He definitely is a conservative thinker, but he's super smart guy. I might watch that. So if that type of stuff offends you, you might want to bow out. But I wanted to show you something before that. Just a little hope. And I don't know, it's not all doom and gloom. A little hope here. Something that I think you should take with you and consider for yourself and the people who you love and care about. And it's what the game is behind the game. How we're built. Literally, how we're built. Why am I showing you my hand? Because if you look at your hand together, your hands represent a calendar. Did you know that? Are you aware of that? They do. Your hands, if you count on your fingers, let's go. This is like counting on your fingers and toes, but we're just going to use our fingers. And if you look, 3 digits on your pinky, 3 digits on your ring finger, 3 digits on your middle finger, 3 digits on your pointer finger, it looks like 3 digits on your thumb, but there's really only 2 there. 3, 6, 9, 12, 14. Okay, 14. Well, if there's 14 here, then there's got to be 14 here, right? 28. There is something that's underlying in human existence. I'm just giving y'all some game real quick. You need to be aware of it. There's something underlying in human existence. Let's pull up. Okay. Human hands. Let's go palms. Just want to show you guys something. And it's, truthfully speaking, it's what keeps me believing that there's better ahead of us. There's better ahead of us. But it's time that I think we all start tapping into different energies, because I don't think it's going to be economics that's going to save you. I have an album that I'm getting ready to put out, and it's called Dear God, Nobody's Coming to Save You. And, you know, as this election is fast approaching, the one thing that I'm realizing is that nobody's really driving the bus. And so everyone who's putting, I was going to say something about what 19 Keys said. When asked, you know, do you think that things get back to normal? There ain't no normal, ain't no coming back. And sorry, newsflash, I tend to believe that. Now, this thing is called Good News Travels Fast. Because there is good news. The good news is that it doesn't need to go back to normal for things to be okay and for there to be a fix. It doesn't have to. Okay, let me show you your hands, and I'll show you why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is everybody looking? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14 there. 14 and 14 equals 28. Interesting. Where are you going with this, Orrin? I'll tell you in a second. Just listen. Okay. 28 digits on your hand. Because this one's fused. It's only 2. It's metatarsal at the top, or this digital phalange at the top. It's fused. Okay. Let's look at the human body. This is fun. I just want to show you guys something. Human body. Okay. We'll count major joints, not minor. Major joints. You have 2 ankles. That's a major joint. 2. You have 2 knees. 4. You have 2 hips. 6. You have 2 shoulders. 8. You have 2 elbows. 12. You have 2 wrists. 10. You have 2 wrists, 12. You have 1 neck, 13. Your body is set up. It's so crazy when I found this out. Your body is set up as a calendar. Your body is set up as a calendar that marks the time of the year, the real time of the year. Watch this. You ever heard of the 13-month calendar? 13-month calendar. Good news, everybody. There is help and it's on the way. Good news. And it's inside of you. Not in the perverted way either. It's literally inside of you. The easiest way to put a calendar together is, contrary to popular belief, it's not some arbitrary, like, let's look at the Gregorian calendar. And then we'll get back to regular stuff. Gregorian calendar. Just the history of it. When was it adopted? Okay, Wikipedia can tell us this one. I don't feel like. Okay, so the Gregorian calendar went into effect in 1582. Well, what preceded the Gregorian calendar? The Julian calendar. See it? Right there. The Julian calendar was when we first started counting 365 degrees. 360, really, degrees with 5 extra, because the 360 represents a circle. We all know that, right? 360 degrees in a circle, 360 degrees in a day. And they say, oh, that's how long it takes for the Earth to go around the sun. Okay, cool. That's fine. But if you start counting that same solar year, what you would find is within that year, there are 13 moons in every solar year. 13, not 12. 13. 13 moons in every solar year. And like I already depicted to you, there are 13 major joints in the body. So if you just count them, just go through it, like, watch. Don't believe me. It's going to say 12 moons and then like 14 some odd days. How many full moons in a solar year? 12 full moons in a solar year. Occasionally, a year has 13 full moons. There's no occasionally about it, to be quite honest with you. The 13th full moon, also known as a blue moon, occurs when the lunar cycle completes 13 months within a 12-month calendar year. This happens approximately every 2.5 years. It really happens every year. I'm just letting you know. Don't believe me. Google it yourself. There are 13 moons in every year. Ask a woman. Ask a woman how many, if she was really to count her cycles, how many cycles does she have in a calendar year? They coincide with the moons. There's 13. You're a walking calendar. Well, why are you telling me that? You know what else is a walking calendar? A turtle. You know how I just pointed out 28? Watch this. You know, the Aztecs and the Mayan looked at turtle shells as calendars. Turtle shell. Nature's not stupid. People are plenty dumb, but nature's not stupid. And this is why I think that we're going to be okay. I'm just letting you know. I am going somewhere with this. We need a good one. We need a good look at one. I took a picture of a turtle. Okay, this might be a good one. No, it's not good. This is better, but that's too close. This one will work. Not quite, because I can't really see the scales. Oh, that's good enough. Oh, I need a... Okay, this is perfect. All right. Hop on. You can take a full picture of it? No, I'm not getting no damn Pinterest account, bitch. Okay, let's see if this one... Okay, this one will do. This one will do. Okay. 28. 13. I'll show you the same thing on a turtle. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20. Let's do this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I need a shell that I can see. Oh, damn it. Give me one that's not on that. This is a good one. All right. Definitive. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Got it? Let's count 28. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. He only got 27 on 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Well, he's only got 26 on his back, so don't I look pretty damn dumb? Not Getty Images. In most cases, what you're going to find is 28 scales around the outside of a turtle shell. In most cases. Apparently not in all, but in most. Same 13 on the back, 28 around the outside. Walking, talking, living, breathing, calendrical expressions of something that's happening in the earth constantly, which is nature, which is what we've gotten away from, which is what I do believe when I said, oh, everyone running around individually trying to tackle life on their own, chasing it. Money is what matters. Time is money. You got to go, push, get to, but it's never buying enough. And everybody's feeling it. Something in this time that we're living in, as stressful as it and chaotic as it's been for all of us, there's just something in me that tells me it's not going to be without some pain. It's not going to be without some pushback. It's not going to be without some... we've already gone through it. Like, do you need to know? Do you need to see how delicate, how fragile our society is stitched together? You know what I mean? What does it take for system breakdown to come and people don't trust one another and are demonizing one another? Like, it doesn't take a lot. Okay, this is what I want to show you. Damn, you can't even see. No, it doesn't take a lot. And if we're being honest, do you think that politics can fix it? That's the question I ask myself constantly. The things that are wrong with us, the massive addiction to social media, the constant search for an escape from one's own life, which is crazy. Like, is it something that you feel like any politician, regardless of which side of the aisle that you're on, you think it's something they can step in and fix? No, it's something that I think that you got to fix yourself. I think that's been proven to all of us, is that self-agency and being a champion for your own cause is the fix. This is my guy. Living simpler lives, more collectively beneficial lives. Whether you like it or not, to be honest with you, you want to chase the American dream, you rugged individualist, I get it. Go get it. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't be surprised if you find yourself in need of and in search of something more collective eventually that can actually be beneficial to you and yours, whomever. And so it's like this election season has been insufferable. It's just one bombshell after another, just never a dull moment. This guy's a racist over here, then Biden backs it up over here. She's got trouble speaking over here. This guy's doing a podcast over here. These burning ballots over here. This apparently in Colorado. My buddy told me about this shit. Anyway, hold on. Let me finish my train of thought. Within your body is contained a calendar, and that calendar calls you back to something that existed long before the Gregorian calendar. It's the natural progression of the earth. It's just what is versus what's been stitched together by people to fit arbitrary means of adhering to systems that hold money in the highest regard, that place power over people and humans really, truthfully speaking, evolving into what I think we always were supposed to be, which is a collective unit of people. If you ever heard of the Kardashev scale, you understand this. You know, planets that are level 3 Kardashev scale planets are planets that have learned how to harness the power of their own sun. Well, you can't do that through rugged individualism. I'm sorry. That's going to be a collective thing. That's people all working in the same direction and probably living lives that are very intertwined. I'm not talking about being on top of each other and being in no damn cult or none of that shit. I'm just talking about a more village mentality, something that's more cohesive and more that will endure. Because again, politics are shaped up to and created like politicking. Like, look at the definition. You let me down, turtle. I'll be back to you. It's okay. I'm not mad. It's okay. I'm not mad at you, turtle. I was trying to show the people something and you made a fool of me. Let's see. The fuck? No Nuggets game tonight, so I figured let's do other stuff. Politics. Definition. The art or science of government or governing, especially the governing of a political entity such as a nation and the administration and control of its internal and external affairs. Political science. None of that. I don't see anything about people in that. The activities or affairs engaged in by a government, politician, or political party. Again, nothing about people in that. Politics serves politicians. It serves politics. You know, I was recalling, because I'm soon to be 52 years old, I am a Pledge of Allegiance era kid. I grew up when we literally used to say the Pledge of Allegiance in school. We were too young to make any protest about it. We just said it. And I was thinking about the words in the Pledge of Allegiance the other day, which they took out of schools, pledge. And when you hear it, it's just kind of like, I pledge allegiance to what? I mean, it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy in certain regard. It sounds crazy. Like, we used to sit in school and we would say this thing. And in retrospect, I look back on it and I'm like, what the hell was I pledging allegiance to? Like, what was that whole thing about? But in a state sense, in a sense of country and citizen sense, in a citizen sense, excuse me. Well, the thing means something, right? Because we're all doing this thing together, right? And I was saying it, I don't know why I caught myself saying it the other day. And those who know it know that I pledge allegiance to my flag. Oh, it's original. Okay, this is cool. The Pledge of Allegiance was written in August 1892 by the socialist minister Francis Bellamy, 1855 to 1931. It was originally published in the Youth's Companion on September 8th, 1892. Bellamy had hoped that the pledge would be used by citizens in any country. In its original form, it read, I pledge allegiance to my flag and the republic for which it stands, one nation indivisible with liberty and justice for all. In 1923, the words, the flag of the United States of America were added. And, at this time it read, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation indivisible with liberty and justice for all. Wow, under God wasn't even in the original ones. In 1954, in response to the communist threat of the times, President Eisenhower encouraged Congress to add the words under God, creating the 31-word pledge we say today. Bellamy's daughter objected to the alteration. Today it reads, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So what I was tripping off of is that it doesn't say, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the democracy for which it stands, one nation under God. It says, and to the republic. So then I was like, oh, what is a republic? And I've always heard people say, we don't live in a democracy. We live in a democratic republic. What is a republic? Because democracy is on the ballot. But if you don't live in a democracy, you live in a democratic republic. What does that mean? A republic is a form of government where political power rests with the public, through their representatives. Okay, let's read that again. A republic is a form of government where the political power rests with the public through their representatives, in contrast to a monarchy or a theocracy. In a republic, the people elect representatives to temporarily, term limits, serve in political office, and these representatives are bound to follow the rules established by the Constitution or other governing documents. Let's continue reading. Representation. Citizens select representatives to govern on their behalf rather than directly. There's an interesting story in the Bible where the children of Israel call for a king. Children of Israel. It's one of the prophets. Ask for a king. Let's see. I want to say it was Isaiah. Might have been Ezekiel. Israelites asking. The children of Israel asked for a king during the times of Samuel. It was Samuel the prophet, who was the last judge and leader of Israel. According to 1 Samuel 8:42, the Israelites approached Samuel and said, appoint for us a king to govern us like all other nations. They were motivated by a desire to be like other nations, with a monarch to lead or govern them. God's perspective. God, I'm not a religious person, to be honest with you. I look at all these things as metaphor. God, however, viewed the request as a rejection of his own leadership and the sovereignty over Israel. God's like, what the fuck? After everything I've done for you, you dare ask for a king? He told Samuel, they have not rejected you, but they have rejected me as their king. God reminded Samuel that the Israelites had forsaken him and served other gods since the day he brought their sorry asses out of Egypt. Now, if you're religious, you understand. You might know that story. You might not. What's the correlation that you're drawing, Oren? First and foremost, governing oneself. I'm just, in the interest of full disclosure, you do it every day. Quiet as kept. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you decide that you're going to go to, the gym or not. You decide what you're going to have for breakfast or not. You get in your car, you drive yourself to work or wherever. Your day, 99% of your life is spent without quote unquote governance. You are self-governing. If you don't know that, I don't know how to point it out to you. There's no one waking you up and telling you left, right, left, go, 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 unless you've been in jail. Then you know what it's like to be governed. I, unfortunately, have had that experience. You know what it's like to be governed when you don't get up and go when you want to go. You're told when you can get up and go wherever. That's the difference, quite literally. It's how people can drop out of society and decide to be homeless. It's how people can decide that they want to do anything. And for the most part, unencumbered, because governance takes control, truthfully speaking. Now, where laws, where fiscal and monetary policy is concerned, yes, there are incursions upon your sovereignty. But for the most part, you rise and fall every day with your life in your hands. That's where the whole pick yourself up by your bootstraps sort of mentality comes from, because the thought is, if no one is physically holding on to you, then you have every opportunity to do whatever it is that you need to do, or want, more importantly, to do. So governance is given, it's bequeathed to our leadership. So let's go back to the meaning of a republic. A republic is a form of government where the political power rests with the public through their representatives, of course. So that means that you would have to know what your representatives are doing. For this thing to work as currently constituted, you have to know what your representatives are doing, because the power lies with you, the public, me, the public, through the representatives that we say, go king for us. I don't have time. Tut, tut, tut. Go, go, go. Go and make sure that my taxes are in order. Tut, tut, tut. Go, go, go. Go and make sure that the speeding limits are in order. Whatever the ordinances and laws and all the things are that governors go and govern. In contrast to a monarchy or a theocracy where you have no say. You'll do what we tell you to do because God said so, or the king, who in effect is God, said so. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't see democracy in there. So any time there, democracy is on the ballot, it's like, well, democratic rule. So let's look up democratic. Because these are all things that I think people talk about these things, but we've never sat down. Have you just ever sat down and started Googling these terms? Like, what does that actually mean? Democracy. Let's look up the etymology of democracy. The word democracy originates from the Greek word demos, meaning people. And kratos, meaning power or rule. The combination forms the terms demokratia, which can be translated to power of the people or rule by the people. So let me ask you a question. Do you feel like you're ruling or being ruled? People are sweating bullets about what's going to happen next Tuesday, what is going to be decided by when they pick somebody to come and fix their life for them. Rule. People are disowning family members, fighting amongst themselves, hating their neighbors, vandalizing other people's property. All of this angst, this back and forth, this tussle, fight amongst the people who rule in lieu of their representatives who are supposed to be representing your rule. Like, go do what I said do. Instead, we're like, go fix what I can't fix. What are the things that they're fixing? What role should government have in your life? These are the questions I think that it's time to start asking ourselves, because the one thing I've noticed is that, oddly enough, every successive election for the last 12 years has been the most important election ever. And no one can seem to get it right. None of the people that you or I may or may not have voted for or elected can ever seem to actually get it right. They can in certain cases when they want, and it's like, well, it's a lot of people to govern. America's 330 million people. That's a lot of people to have to look over. Do I have to look after and make sure that this is going and that's going and this is going? I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm just here to point out the inconsistencies of the thoughts that we're currently having. The fights, the angst, the back and forth, the tussle, the hatred, the enmity amongst the people. Again, just want to point it out, who actually are supposed to rule. Whereas you have career politicians, because politics is not this. So we have democracy. We know what democracy is. So let's see. Is America a democracy or a... God, I type like a short yellow bus rider. Look at that. Oh my God. Thank God for... Let's see. What do we have? What do we got here? Draws. It's Saturday night. I guess that makes it all right. Where's my cooking guy? Yes, I'm set. I don't want to hear her. This is my dude, man. I want to live like this guy. My Serbian homeboy. Let me take a break from schooling you dudes for a second. Let's watch this dude hook up this pizza. Super. This is my dream. This is where I'm headed, by the way. While you guys fight over who's better, blue or red, I'm trying to find me a piece of land and some people that I enjoy being around to be around and get back to being a human being. The beauty of the way that simplicity works. Hold on. All right, hold on. The beauty of simplicity is that it doesn't. It's just let it run. Let it run. See, sometimes I don't feel like just yammering about sports. Sometimes I feel like talking about philosophy. Is that all right with y'all? Is that all right with you? Oh, that's a happy dog. Oh, that's a happy dog. So this guy's in Azerbaijan. That's a happy dog. There's also a whole thing about humans eating meat, but I just had a steak tonight, so I go back and forth. I'll get back to what we live in politics in a second, but I need the time away from that for a second. Nice ground up chicken. The happy dog. It's the happy dog. My happy dog is asleep on a pillow over there. Escobar. He's not getting up. Bubba. He's not getting up. Garlic powder. Paprika. Red pepper. Cumin. There he is. Come here, bub. There's a happy dog. Come up. Come here. That's a happy dog. Everybody do this. Escobar James. Down. That's Escobar James Trotter. Those ducks. So anyway, now that this is starting to calm me down a bit, I can get back to the point. No, you guys want to watch this pizza. Let's watch this, and then we'll get back to whether or not our government sucks ass, and it does. Way to go. Neato, gang.
Yes.
Boy.
Oh.
Man. Somewhere along the line, the one thing that is for certain is that in pursuit of happiness and the great American way, something got lost. And it sounds cliche, I know. Things are bad and everybody wants to be an outdoorsman. I'm a guy who used to pride myself in being like, fuck outside. I used to be like, no, I'm a city kid. And, you know, the club, you know, has everything that I need. I want to be a millionaire mogul and have a penthouse and, you know, live it up big. And you just start to, you get my age, you know, or maybe before, because I know a lot of people have kind of bought out. And you just realize what this constant go, go, go really does to a person. That's the only reason why I was pointing out to you the 13 moon calendar. You realize, oh, the kitty. I don't really like cats. Are you cat people or dog people? They're so curious. I like that part of them. I really like tigers and lions. Ew. What's he doing with that chicken? Is he making chicken mash? He blended that chicken. It's like chicken mash. I have a hard time with meat sometimes. Oh, he's making chicken sausage. Ooh, that's different. He made his own chicken sausage. That's fire. I don't know about the cellophane. I thought that was supposed to go in like pig intestine. Isn't that supposed to go in intestine? So he's gonna boil those, obviously. Ew, chicken poop. It's so satisfying though. Like the sound of ASMR. It's so satisfying. When you hear like the wind. Hear the water running. I'm a puppy. That cat ain't having it. I love it. I love it. This isn't what you want for your life? Yeah, go get him. Okay, so he's got all of his chicken poop sausages. I love that sound of that water coming out of that well. He's very deliberate. Okay, so he's freeze-dried some. Okay, all right. I cooked a huge pizza underground in the wild mountains. Homemade sausage pizza recipe. This is my homeboy. Anyway, so a simpler life. The push, 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 and the go get it. When does that wear thin? Does everybody experience it? I think it comes for everyone. I do think it comes for everyone. Only the Uber, can't imagine themselves without their luxuries, can't imagine themselves living a life, of like when you think about Puffy being in jail. I don't know how he's dealing with it, but you're talking about a guy who, for the better part of 20 years at least, had everything, lived life in the lap of luxury. Oh, you're the pub. That's the pub. And, when something like this is presented, it's like, oh yeah, that'd be a nice vacation. Like, what about as a life, though? What about a life that's more like the life that your ancestors, and I'm not talking about thousands of years ago. I mean, the Industrial Revolution was 150 years, maybe. So before that, you're talking about 3 grandparents ago, 4 grandparents ago, people who lived more like this. And it's like, yeah, but, they didn't have running water and They didn't have cable, or they didn't have the internet. And it's like, are you better? Are we better for those things? How's our humanity doing? Is the question that I'm constantly asking myself. And I'm no longer asking myself, really. I'm just moving toward answers that I know are real. And when I'm looking at this election cycle, and I'm listening to the commentary, and I hear you hear it, and it's palpable and it's real. There's a real fear that our democracy, quote unquote, is in danger. And then, as I point out to you, well, if it's in danger, it's because we, the people with the power, aren't doing our jobs. It's not because one person to whom we believe all power is due is going anywhere. And that goes on either side. I'm being honest with you. Oh, so he's not even using intestine for his sausage. He just put them in cellophane, let it congeal, coagulate together, unwrap those bad boys, and look, you got chicken hot dog. It's not going to be because one person, I alone can fix it. That's not how that works. Because if that's how that worked, I'm fairly sure that all of these most important elections of our lifetimes would have fixed it by now. I'm fairly sure of that. And it hasn't, because it's not designed to. And I try to convince people of that constantly. What is it, dog? You like it? I try to convince, I'm not trying to convince anyone anymore. I just try to talk to people honestly about what it is that I'm observing, what it is that I see, without planting more fear into because the last thing that I think we need, people don't need to be scared, that don't need to be any more scared than they already are. Because you're busy, therefore you're underinformed. I don't believe in, you don't have time to look into those things. And so you're busy, you've been trying to work out your life, you've been trying to, create a future for yourself and that of your loved ones. You just figure, fucking fix it. Yeah, do it. Fine, do it. The healthcare, yeah, fucking do it. Yeah, sure. Whatever the thing is. And I know some of the hot button issues that always get pushed. I know. I'm not unaware. A woman's right to choose. Governance, self-governance. It's supremely important. It was important to me. It was important to me during COVID that I got the right to choose what happened with my body. So trust me, it's not an issue that I haven't fought for and will continue to fight for, regardless of what I may think about. Think about as a wording, just as a word exercise. Let me turn this down a little bit. And I don't want anyone, listen, do what is best for you and your family. Always is what I side on. As a word exercise, think about a woman's right to choose versus abortion rights. Just as a word exercise. Listen to how it sounds. How does that ring to you when you hear, a woman's right to choose what happens with her body versus abortion rights? These semantic conversations that we end up having that are really covering very complex, nuanced issues that are just thrown around like these binaries. It's either, this or it's that. I believe in bodily autonomy, and that is for everyone. I believe that because you rise and fall every day, whose body do you wake up in? I'm being serious when I ask that question. It sounds like I'm being cheeky, but I'm not. Whose body do you wake up in? Whose body do you go to sleep in every night? You go to sleep in your body. You wake up in your body. So, of course, there should be no question as to who decides what happens with that. And now what that means socially, you know what I mean? In terms of the culture, the society, do we have a birth rate issue? Some communities do. Not everybody does. Some communities definitely have a birth rate issue. So then we as a whole have a birth rate issue? Okay. But again, that's not a conversation that's meant to be had. Ooh, he's making like a pepper sauce. God, that looks good. So satisfying to watch somebody beginning to end some shit. And the one thing this dude's got going, tomato paste. The one thing this dude's got going is no phone. Does he look like he's got somewhere to be?
And oh, easy for you to say. Oh, that yeah. If we could only all have it that way. Do you think this is a rich man? Like, what do you think this dude does for a living? Look at where he lives, in Azerbaijan. God, my nose hairs. It's not even my. It's my mustache hairs are just pissing me off. If I wasn't so scared of going bald face again, I just can't shave again. First of all, I do believe that you're not supposed to shave your facial hair. Like, I think we, as men, forget, or we as humans forget that we are also part of the animal kingdom, very natural. What purpose do those whiskers actually serve? Huh? I got that from Dick Gregory. That's a Dick Gregory, but I believe it. It's like the Samson. My strength is in my hair. There's all type of metaphor in life that you don't have to look. To me, you don't have to look too far to figure out. Like, oh yeah, okay. Like cats, dogs, whomever, unless they're owned by a person, they don't have to cut their hairs. Why do we spend so much time cutting our hair? Well, because you got to groom, you got to look good. But it's like, so I've been trying to go unshaven. I'm just trying to not shave, trim for sure. But then my mustache hairs, it looks like I got a coke problem, and I don't. But I'm always doing this because my mustache hairs, when I start talking and yammering, my mustache hairs go into my nostrils as they grow up, and I have to trim them, the mustache hairs, like every 3 days. Where was I? Oh, natural living. Where do you think this guy has to be? Does he look like a person that's in a rush? And I know he's doing this for the camera, but I'm talking about as you look at his life, look at his setup. So beautiful. And we think that we're killing it. We think that we're killing it because, you got the World Series and the Super Bowl and, Thursday's the new Friday and all these things that contribute to the quality of life, quite honestly, or the lack thereof, that we are constantly chasing. And it would seem, by the looks of things, that has run its course. And whatever comes next, when the society starts to break down and can no longer afford the living part of the quality of life that we so desperately chase, when those things start to fall apart, well, then you got some real problems on your hands, Jack. The only thing about a pizza that this is going to sound so weird, that I could really do without is the cheese. See, like, I like the bread. I like the dough, I should say. I love the tomato sauces. I love the veggies. I love the meats, even though I'm sort of teetering on, a vegetarian stint. But like I said, I had a steak tonight. I was watching this last night, and I was actually watching. Have you ever seen Men Cook with Pots? We'll watch Men Cook with Pots next. I was watching Men Cook with Pots. I think it's called Men Cook with Pots, and he made beef Wellington, and I was like, so then I went on a walk today. I went on a 12-mile hike today, and then when I got back, I was like, I want a fucking steak. I'm a man. I just put it in. I put the work in. I need some animal protein. The animals are supposed to be like our buddies. They're supposed to be like they're supposed to be our friends. I don't know if I feel all that much. Like, the thing about humans and eating meat, that I think is an exercise that, just a mental exercise you should play with yourself. Go in the mirror one day and look at your teeth and tell me where your canines, the condition that they're in. And do you think that you were actually designed to eat meat? You weren't. I'm telling you that right now. You don't have the type of, rip and tear. We do it. We can do it. But no, humans are herbivores. You're an herbivore that acts like a carnivore. And more than likely, to be quite honest with you, our carnivorous lifestyles probably can contribute to much of our sickness. We were put here to be buddies with the animals, and then the animals are food for other animals.
not for humans. Humans are supposed to eat plants. I'm not a religious person, but I did study the Bible. And there's a Bible verse that says, I can show you better than I can tell you. I'm going to minimize, I'm not going to take him away. You're staying with me, Mr. Azerbaijan Super. By the way, if you're interested in this channel, it's called Wilderness Cooking, and I just love it. I absolutely love it. This is what, as a metaphor, let's just play this as a metaphoric exercise. Whoa. Whoa. As a metaphorical exercise. The fruits are your food. Bibble. Genesis 1:29 through 30. God provides every plant yielding seed and every tree with seed bearing fruit as food for humanity, emphasizing the importance of plant-based nutrition. Genesis 2:17. The tree of knowledge and good and evil is explicitly forbidden, highlighting the distinction between permitted and forbidden foods. Fruit from this tree represents the pursuit of knowledge and wisdom rather than sustenance. And then it says, like, the herbs are for the healing of the nation, which is why pharmaceuticals are bad. You really, I mean, as much as people rail against religion, I think what's missing partly in society. Oh, okay. I'm going to go back because we missed the crafting of this beautiful, wonderful wood-fire pizza that he's about to make. Or firewood pizza. Just, you know, you're not supposed to eat meat. I'm telling you right now. Do your research. You can eat it if you want to. I had a steak today. Did I tell you guys that I had a steak today?
Way to go, neato, gang. Yes, boy. Oh. Man.
Because sometimes you just want the animal protein. But I think the design of the diet contributes to a lot of our sickness. And I think that when people rail against the Bible, it's because for so long it was lorded over us as like, you're going to hell if you don't. And it's like, there's a lot more smart in there than there is, like, metaphors and smart in there than there is that stuff. But how many people have actually read the Bible? Not many. You usually go to church and let a pastor read it to you. And they tell you what it says. And you yourself have never actually picked and opened the book up because you're afraid to open it up. And God's in there looking at you like, I see what you did. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. I saw that. It's not how it works. Yeah, it's a book of astrology. It's a book of esoteric wisdom. It's not what they tell you that it is. It's worth a read, too. It's a lot of tragedy, a lot of murder in there. Whatever God that is in there is a pretty... It's funny because he's like, I'm a jealous God. And it's like, jealous of who? Oh, maybe it's jealous of the other gods. He says it, not me. He says, you're a jealous God. Well, who would God be jealous of except for other gods? You know, there's a part in the Bible that says, Jesus tells you that you're a God. You know, there's a part in the Bible where that's in the Bible too. Jesus tells you that you're a God. You don't believe me, do you? I can tell you don't believe me. See? That's all right. 'Cause I got Google on my side. What is it? Matthew? John? 10. It's Matthew. John 10. It's not John. Matthew, Mark, look at John. Oh yeah, there it is. John 10:34. So in this sequence, they're just about to stone Jesus. They're like, motherfucker, like, what do you think you think you're better than me? That's basically what they're saying to him. They're like, you think you're better than me? You're running around here, you're doing all your miracles, you're getting all the people roused, you're rousing the rabble. What do you think, you're fucking better than me, dude? And here, I'll read it. I can read it better than I tell you. Let's go to church. You don't have to go to church. Trust me, I know people recoil. Oh my God, religion. It's like, no. Just read it as stories. Treat it like any other book. Or what, you don't read books? 32 through... Let's see if we can find the whole deal. Okay, we got to go a little more back. So let's go 30 to 34. Okay, let's go one more back. I'm going to set the scene for you. Don't be afraid. It's just a book, okay? I'm not trying to religify you. Trust me. I bowed out a long time ago. But the stories are instrumental in pointing out things in life. They really are. That's the twist. The twist is that they're instrumental in just pointing out things in life. Okay, let's see. That's such a cute dog. He's such a little bub. Hey, buddy, you get the scratches? Got his fire going. Picking some coals out of there. And I think he's going to light a hookah. Is that a hookah? He's definitely putting hot stuff in there. Cover that. What is that? What's the thing? What's this? So that's nice and hot. Hot it up. Stick down that thing. Carry that big ass fucking pizza. So that's chicken, sausage, tomatoes, peppers. Oh, look at that. God, it's good for everything but the cheese. It's so bomb. And then he just covers it up. Puts a little weight on there. Hold that down. Oh, you. Oh. Throw some of that hot on top. He ain't playing. All right, anyway. So the scene is that Jesus is doing a bunch of special shit like magic shit and getting the people all riled up. And he says, let's see. I give them eternal life, and they shall never perish. No one will snatch them out of my hand. My Father, who has given them to me, he's talking about the people, is greater than them all. No one can snatch them out of my Father's hand. I and the Father are one. So that really pissed people off. They're like, what the fuck you mean you and my dad are one? He's my dad. He's not your dad. He's my dad. Oh, he was making coffee. Look at that look. He's a gangster. He's a gangster just living. Look at that look. Hold on. We'll get back to Jesus in a second. I missed this part. What did he do? He did something fucking dope. He's got his pizza going. We'll get back to the Bible in a second. Hold on, you guys. He's got his pizza going. So that is coffee, tea. Okay. Fresh. Pour you some hot. Whoa, it was a hot water heater. Okay. Yeah, buddy. Oh, that's a tight ass contraption. Listen at that pour. What is that? Berries? Is that how he's sweet? Oh, he's just maxed out. That's okay. So as opposed to putting sugar in the tea, what do you think that he does that? And that's how he kind of sweetens it, like sweeten your palate and then drink the tea. Do you drink tea out of glass cups? I'm not talking about him. I know he does, but would you? Seems like it would be hot to hold. Too hot to handle, too hot to hold. He's not worried about it. He's like, I'm a gangster. I'm like, what? Just staring at the countryside like, this is my life. And it is beautiful. Couple donkeys. A couple jackasses. What's up, donkey? Are you telling me that you would be bored by this life? It's the only thing I can't get with is the flies. Even the sound of flies is just, pestilence. Anyway, Jesus told that you're a God. Again, the Jewish opponents picked up stones to stone him, but Jesus said to them, I have shown you many good works from the Father. For which of these do you stone me? We're not stoning you for your good work, they replied, but the blasphemy because you, a mere man, claim to be God. And then Jesus, the Son of God, answers them and says, Is it not written in your law? I say, ye are gods, you are gods. What do you mean we're gods? He's talking to them. He says, isn't it written in your law? I said, you are gods. Where did he get that from? I'll show you in a second, but I want to see this pizza. Oh, look at that. Damn, son. Olives. That's a big fucking pizza. Olives, tomatoes, peppers. Get that fly out of there, bro. Oh, look at that. I don't even eat pizza like that no more. And that shit looks fire. Super. That's my homeboy. Call the kids. You know kids love pizza. Super. It's a ton. Super. No matter what side of the world you're on, every kid loves pizza. Super. He hooked that shit all the way up. All right. Wilderness cooking. All right, I'm going to put on Men with Pot. Let's see if I can find one. Men cooking. In the woods. Yeah, these dudes right here. Yeah, Men with a Pot. Okay, which one are we going to watch? They always cook like the one thing about these dudes. Nope. We're gonna watch my dude roast some beef steaks. He's so dope. So anyway, I was talking about politics. Well, let me finish this Jesus story and then we'll get back to politics. I tangent, but I can keep my shit straight. I know where I'm at. You just keep in mind on where you're at. So, in this particular instance, the last thing that Jesus tells them is it not written in your law, I have said ye are gods? And it's like, what? Who's I and who said that? Well, if you know, you know. And if you don't, let me tell you. Already said it, though. Already said it right here. Context and significance in Psalm 82. So Psalms was definitely written before the book of John. So this is old, quote unquote, Old Testament, also known as the Torah. In Psalm 82, God judges the gods. Wait, what? That's why he says he's a jealous God. God judges the gods, also known as Elohim, plural. El, God, Ohim, plural. Many gods of the earth. Gods of the what? Gods of the earth. Wait, the Bible talks about gods of the earth? Yeah, that's in the Bible. Who are actually human rulers and judges. Oh, wait, what? Huh? For their mistreatment of the weak and vulnerable. God declares that they will die like mere mortals. You didn't know that your Bible said this? I'm telling you, it's a much better book than you've ever been told that it was. It's such an interesting novel. Just to read it as a novel. Don't read it as a piece of religion. Pick up a Bible, find one that isn't all, verily I say unto thee, thus and thou art so. Those are impossible to read. Just get like a New King James or an NIV and just read it as a book. Don't read it to read religion. Don't look for God in it. Just read it as a book. It's fascinating. And if you start tying things in together, you start to realize, it's like going through the Pledge of Allegiance and realizing that, wait, to the republic for which it stands, I thought I lived in a democracy. They told me democracy was on the line. You know what's crazy about democracy being on the line? I don't have a dog in the hunt. I don't have a dog in the hunt. I don't care enough. I care, but not like that. I care, but I'm just telling you, I don't believe in it. I think that, anyway, did Kamala Harris win a primary? This is just a piece of information. So when people say certain things to you, so when people say things to you, you can have answers as opposed to emotion. Here's an encore. How did Kamala Harris, the least popular VP? I didn't say all that. I didn't say all that. I mean, it was factually true. But, how did Kamala Harris, the least popular VP in American history, become the Democrats' presidential nomination without having to win a single primary? Where's the democratic in that? They say democracy's on the ballot, like democracy's at stake, but she didn't even get in through a democratic process. She was handpicked like, I don't know, a king or a queen would be picked. Now, obviously, she wasn't just given the position of president. She was just given the spot. Here, you know who says it better than I can say it? Because I'm a fucking stoner, and I haven't even smoked any weed. But watch this. Kevin O'Leary breaks this thing down so, and you can take this for what it's worth. I think people, when you have these discussions, they get so sensitive. They're so touchy. Kevin O'Leary, CNN panel. Y'all know who Kevin O'Leary is, right? Kevin O'Leary breaks this thing down so, I think, factually, and it almost breaks the pan.
I don't really understand why he keeps going back to this well of more and more and more tariffs.
Let me explain why. Let's take China.
Hold on.
It's talking about virus.
I do want to get back to the economic
I mean, you are implicitly
question
by
here,
pretending it didn't happen.
Republicans keep saying
There have been, I don't know, like a dozen different, which would worsen inflation.
Come back. That's pie in the sky. If I give 2,000% tariffs.
They steal. They don't play by the level
I don't think
field.
they.
Oh, are they really going to do that on YouTube? Kevin O'Leary, CNN panel, primary. Please don't do this. Like, you guys have to let people see the information. Jesus, it happened on TV. There's no reason to black it out. Don't have it be him. Like,
what you are about to see is some of the most.
No, I don't want to hear your take on it. Hold on, you guys. Let's see. Kevin O'Leary points out that Harris didn't win primary. CNN. These people freak out when he says it too, but it's like, it's just the truth. It won't even. Okay. You can always count on them.
Only 90 days ago, Pelosi went to Biden and said, you need to step aside, and convinced him to do so. He made the decision, and he did actually ask her, and we've now learned this, is she the right person to drive this home? He questioned that. He could have said, we need to run a process in order for me to make this move. But they decided not to. I don't know who they is. Was it Obama?
They're already shaking their heads. Now listen, again, I want to be abundantly clear. I don't have a dog in this hunt. I think both candidates are dog shit. Of all the candidates and all the platforms, even though she's very verbose, Jill Stein has the best platform for America. It's annoying. But I think both candidates are dog shit, but you have to be able to have these conversations without emotion taking over. And you're going to see what I mean in a second.
Obama, was it Pelosi? I don't care who it was. In stock picking, just listen to this analogy. And you may agree, you may not. 88% of managers, because of the world I live in, cannot beat the S&P year in, year out. So you give them $1,000, the S&P beats them. They can't pick stocks. This is the second time the Democratic Party has circumvented democracy and chose.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Hillary Clinton
was chosen, and she had Bruce Springsteen too. And what happened to her? And now we've chosen.
Kevin, Hillary Clinton won a primary. Okay, she won a primary. You may.
Now, what you're going to hear, the quiet part out loud, is she's going to say, you may not have liked how it went because everyone knows that the Democratic National Convention rigged the primary against Bernie Sanders for Hillary to win. That's not new information. That's just the reality. Debbie Wasserman Schultz had to step down because of it. DNC rigged primary against Sanders for Clinton. Debbie Wasserman Schultz had to step down because of it. Court concedes DNC had the right to rig primaries against Sanders. It's all the way back in 2017. See, but you don't know this because you work. I do too, but I work in media. Like I work for myself. So court concedes DNC had the right to rig primaries against Sanders. Okay, they had the right, but I don't understand what that means. The court affirmed that DNC and Debbie Wasserman Schultz held a palpable bias in favor of Hillary Clinton. Well, how can it be a democratic process where everyone's allowed to vote if the arbiter of the process has a favorite? Why not just pick your favorite and tell people, fuck your votes? We think you guys are going to fuck this up and pick the guy we don't want. In June 2016, a class action lawsuit was filed against the Democratic National Committee and former DNC chair, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, for violating the DNC charter by rigging the Democratic presidential primaries for Hillary Clinton against Bernie Sanders. Even former Senator Minority Leader Harry Reid admitted to it in July 2016. I knew, everybody knew, that this was not a fair deal. He added that Debbie Wasserman Schultz should have resigned much sooner than she did. The lawsuit was filed to push the DNC to admit their wrongdoing and provide Bernie Sanders supporters who supported him financially with millions of dollars in campaign contributions with restitution for being cheated because they contributed to a candidate that was never going to get a chance to win because it was rigged against them. That's once. When was twice? Twice was now.
Nobody could compete with her, even Bernie Sanders.
She won a primary.
Okay.
First of all, that's the first
thing. So
did
Kamala Harris win a primary?
There's a question. Did Kamala Harris win a primary? And the answer is no. The answer is no because she replaced Joe Biden. So, I don't even know how it works. To this day, you can't really explain it to me how that squares. And it's fine if you're fine with it. It's fine if you're fine with it, to be honest with you. If you're fine with it, it's cool. Joe is too enfeebled to run and continue. He wants to keep going. We all know the story. A cohort of operatives and muckety-mucks get together and they say, Joe, you got to step down. So he finally steps down and then he bequeaths the primary that he kind of won, but he didn't even really win the primary. When you look into it, it's like he was running against one guy. They would never put the one guy on TV. He was unchallenged, basically. But he's the incumbent. The incumbent should be unchallenged. He should still have to go through a primary if somebody wants to primary challenge him. But he's the incumbent. The incumbent should go unchallenged. Fine. Now the incumbent can't go. So what does the incumbent get to do? He gets to just pick his successor? No. It should have gone to the convention. And you, in the Democratic Party, I'm a registered independent, should have been able to choose whomever. And if you chose Kamala after all that, cool. But you didn't do that. That's twice. So you can't tell me that democracy's on the ballot when you've circumvented democracy, the process, twice. The defense rests. And the panel lost their shit. Hold on. Let's see if we can find. They lose theirs. I'm talking, whoa. Because you're not allowed to say that. Don't say that. It's the quiet part out loud. This lady went as far as saying, do you think people care? Hold on. I don't know why this thing is ducked so hard. This lady right here in the black, she's like, do you think people even care that I don't want to look on Fox because people are going to say, oh, that's Fox News. I want to find it somewhere else. Well, how did I even get on this subject? Oh, democracy versus a republic. I'm not even going to bother. You can look it up yourself. Look up Kevin O'Leary, CNN panel. You can watch the whole thing. And the panel, okay, fuck it. We'll find it. Kevin O'Leary, CNN. I'll just go back to YouTube. Let's try this one more again. Because all they were talking about is tariffs. All they're talking about is tariffs. Kevin O'Leary, CNN. YouTube is clever. Do you think this lady lost her shit? Do you think that people even care? It's like, yeah, I think they do. You keep telling them that they should care that democracy's on the ballot. I think they care if you let them care. Okay.
He's Elon Musk. He's Batman.
Again, I get your point about where Elon Musk is because of
and other people on the panel.
A headline from the Wall Street Journal as well. The Kremlin
warned him this could possibly be illegal.
Advancements working with Vladimir.
I think one of the things that is also very
Starlink, by the way,
not somebody that we can trust to be command.
Right now and for some time, their adversaries.
He's got $50 billion.
Truth and stand strong. Has money, influence. Commentator sitting on a CNN show.
Oh my God, this is so annoying. I bet you Twitter I have it. I'm going to find this. I'm sorry. You're just going to have to ride with me till I find it. Because now I'm on a mission. Can I still call it Twitter? Or do I have to call it X? You just can't find anything on YouTube. YouTube has a very clever way of tucking things away. That's a fact. Let's see, Kevin. What's that? Somebody said you need to learn how to fuck off. Okay.
Ever. This rhetoric from people saying Trump is a Nazi and
No.
This rhetoric.
No. Okay, here we go. This person has to have it. Kevin O'Leary clashes with. I just want the full thing because I don't know why everybody's cutting it short. Are you serious? I'm telling you. And listen. Oh my God. Have they just memory hold the video? Just play the fucking. Just answer the fucking question. He truth bombed so tough that no one wants this video out there to be seen. Shot down after. Why isn't it the video though? That's crazy. The hardest video to find. I just watched this thing in its entirety. It's the hardest video to find now. Touche, man. It ain't cheating if you're trying. Or it ain't cheating if you're trying.
This is the same candidate that lost in 2019 and 2020 and has never been tested by the markets for various reasons we can argue about, but she's never won anything. And if she loses, I'm not saying she will.
She's won a Senate seat, just to be clear.
Okay, great. But we're now talking about the presidency here, all right?
And
vice
So if
presidential.
she happens to lose, I think the soul searching will be picked the wrong horse. Did not run a
Joe Biden flamed out in the primaries with Hillary and Obama. He did not win one primary, nothing. And then he became vice president and then won the presidency.
Well, thanks to South Carolina.
It's the same exact situation.
So maybe she'll have a unique set of circumstances.
Hold on. This is like the to listen to the cackling in return is actually kind of funny. And it's the only clip that can be found. Come on, man. Jesus. The fear of unadulterated truth is very, very stark.
Hard. Only 90 days ago, Pelosi went to Biden and said, you need to step aside, and convinced him to do so. He made the decision, and he did actually ask her, and we've now learned this, is she the right person to drive this home? He questioned that. He could have said, we need to run a process in order for me to make this move. But they decided not to. I don't know who they is. Was it Obama? Was it Pelosi? I don't care who it was. In stock picking, just listen to this analogy. And you may agree, you may not. 88% of managers, this is the world I live in, cannot beat the S&P year in, year out. So you give them $1,000, the S&P beats them. They can't pick stocks. This is the second time the Democratic Party has circumvented democracy and chose.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. Hillary Clinton was chosen, and she had Bruce Springsteen too. And what happened to her? And now we've chosen.
Kevin, Hillary Clinton won a primary. Okay, she won a primary. You may not.
Nobody
like
could compete with her, even Bernie Sanders.
She won a primary.
Okay.
First of all, that's the first
So
thing.
did Kamala Harris win a primary?
Listen, we've talked about this before.
What's wrong about talking about it tonight after what you just saw?
Do you think that's really what matters to voters?
Right now.
How many?
Do you think that's what really matters to voters? Yeah. You told them it mattered. It's like democracy's on the ballot. You said democracy. Like what?
Democrats wish.
Your whole shtick has been, let's talk about what matters to voters. Do you really think voters care about the internecine primary process?
That, to me, is the indictment. That's the indictable statement. I'm going to hop off of here because I'm going to get myself in trouble if I don't. They don't respect you. The power that you hold. You are almost seen as an inconvenience to these people. I'll play it again.
Democrats, you sure as how many Democrats wish?
Your whole shtick has been, let's talk about what matters to voters. Do you really think voters care about the internecine primary process?
If you're a Democrat, you sure as hell care today.
I don't even understand what that means. How can, on one hand, democracy be at stake? And at the other hand, you say, do you think voters vote in primaries, for instance? Do you think voters care about the internecine details of a primary? They think that you're an inconvenient truth that exists, that the power. I'm just going to go back. I'm just going to leave it here because this is my point. And it will remain my point. Where is it at? Garrett Cole, you poor son of a bitch. We can watch we'll watch a little more of my dude. We can get rid of that. Do you think I just love how the level of contempt that's had for the voter base it's palpable. It is palpable. Like, you are contemptible because the things you may want inconvenience the people above you. They're not better than you. They're just above you on the ladder of influence and say so. And the way that they see you, the way that they think about you, the way that they talk about you, the way that is this.
Think voters care about the internecine primary process?
If you're a Democrat, you sure as hell care today.
I know that you are from Canada, but the primary process.
Damn.
That's why I'm
The primary
perfect for
process
this.
in this
I have no
country
skin in the game
is
other
not
than
in
to
the
get a great
Constitution.
president.
It's not in the Constitution. The political parties can choose however they want to choose their nominee.
Right.
So why have a primary at all then? Why all the pretense? Why the pretense? That's my point. I think that's my point. I'm tired of watching my people fight amongst each other when the truth of the matter is that seems to be the plan working at its best. Set little fires that you run around and club each other over the head about, and let us handle the business up here. You know, it's not. Then why the facade? Okay, it's not in the Constitution. Cool. Why the facade? Why tell me that, you know, democracy's on the ballot? It's I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. You know, it's right around the corner. It's breathing down our necks. The hope is, quite honestly, that good people of good conscience make it out of the days ahead unscathed. That's my hope. My hope is that good people of good conscience make it out unscathed, able to live their lives and pursue their dream of happiness. Me, I'm chasing down a wide open space with running water and a babbling brook and just a lot simpler way. And people that I love close by, running a business. I'm not going to just get off the grid, but just out of it, away from it, because I don't like the thought of being governed by people who think that the internecine processes of what you tell me are my rights aren't my rights. And then when it's convenient, you say, you know what, they can do whatever they want. You shouldn't either. You shouldn't accept it. My dog is barking in his sleep. Is your buddy? You having a dream? I think it's time to go to bed. And I appreciate it. Let's watch some more cooking outside before oh. Just a man. This is what I long to be. A man with some sticks and an axe and a river and some wood, some kindling, a fire. Maybe not steak shanks, though. I got to learn how to make really good plant-based, like, dinner meals. Have you ever had, like, a lion's mane mushroom, almost like a steak? Or, like, a cauliflower steak, to be honest with you, way overblown. Way overblown. Cauliflower steak is, like, unless you can get... I've had a good one before, but I got to figure out a way to make very interesting and hearty plant-based meals. If you have any suggestions on interesting, hearty plant-based meals, I would love to hear some suggestions. And then every once in a while, you know, we might fish. That was always hard for me. So I'm like, what about fish? Is fish okay? I love salmon. I had some trout at my nephew's birthday the other day. It was amazing. Sometimes we've grown so, oh man, those flies are all over that dog. He's having a tough time with it. Watch your hand, bud. So he's out here obviously tending to his cattle. And he hacked one up. Chat, I'm tired. I don't know if I'm going to make it through this. I'm really just out here to get the reps, and I really appreciate the people who poke in, the lurkers. I appreciate them. I appreciate it. Oh, wow, he just made a surface for his cutting board. That was fire. Lord Longshanks, he's He's got himself some beef, some beef shanks. Happy dog. Along for the ride. There's his coffee set up, his tea set up. Azerbaijani. Can you deep squat? Do you understand the importance of being able to deep squat? If you can't deep squat with your heels on the ground, I've just been learning this and getting myself back in the condition to do it. Start working on deep squatting. It has everything to do with how mobile you'll be when you're older. Another pizza? What are you going to do with that Colin? I don't eat corn as much as I used to. It's got no nutritional value. He's roasting those. Look at that, straight through, just the fire, straight blazing out of that little crease. If you want to support our channel, you can purchase special knives and wooden utensils. Oh, that's fire wilderness cooking. Oh, and those are knives. Super. Wilderness cooking. I think he does it better than Men with Pot. I like the Men with Pot, but I like this guy better. Super. Anyway, with just days left, I do wish for you and your people and the people that like peace between y'all, whoever you are, whoever you're voting for, even if you know people that you're close to that might be going the other way. My wish, my hope is that you can see more of the humanity in one another than you can the ideological differences that you may have politically, because politics is bullshit. And I think it's a shame that you might say it's pie in the sky, but I think it's a shame that people fight over things and are ready to dash whole relationships over things that really these people don't determine your day-to-day life's existence more than you do. They're part of your news cycle for the most part. Like, be serious. Think about your day. Think about your everyday existence, not your ethereal existence, not the thing that you're scared of because it's on the Twitter box or because it came across a newsfeed. I'm talking about your everyday life. That is filled with hopefully love and joy, probably some angst, contention, whatever, but over issues that aren't these things. And it's so disheartening that our system thrives off the chaos that it feeds the people. It's disheartening. It's very unfortunate that the system thrives off of it, because while you're fighting and disowning one another, you tell me if anything's changing for the better. The only thing that can change for the better is, well, you better get you some money. Get money. Better get money. And it's like, yeah, for sure. Work, be gainfully employed, make money, for sure. I'm not advancing that not be a part of your ethos, but if you think that is what's going to complete you, ask every wealthy person who comes to the end of their days and doesn't have something to look back on or someone waiting for them at home or something to be fond of other than the things that they've been able to amass. That ain't it, I'm telling you. It's deeper. 1328. I would suggest that everyone research the 1320 moon calendar. Like research what that is. I'll do it. I'll do like I'm not a scholar where it comes to it. I heard about it. I investigated it. Not only did it make sense, it spoke to me in ways that are still reverberating in my life right now. So there's that. You know what I mean? That looks good. I like chutneys. See, it's just like, how do you make that? How do you make something like that? And now I want something to put with it, like a mushroom. Oh, he's putting corn in it. He just ruined that. It's ruined. You ruined it. It was going so well, and then he put corn in it. It's ruined. He fucked up the church's money. It actually looks pretty good. It's not that I don't like corn. It's just it has no nutritional value that I know of. Like, what's the nutritional value in corn? Let's find out. See that 13 on that turtle? See that 13 on that turtle? And I'm telling you, there's 28. I'm just telling you, there's 28 tiles around the edge of every turtle shell. I'm telling you. Nutritional value in corn. Corn has no nutritional value. Like, what are you doing? All right, you know what? You're done. You're done here. You've made a fool out of me long enough. What about you? You too? You're gonna act like a stupid window? Because you can get jettisoned out of here too. Super. Oh my God. Get out of here. You're out of here too. You? Gone. Fucking super. Corn. Nutritional value of corn, carbohydrates. See? This is, vitamin C, good source of vitamin C. Okay, I always say that. Thiamine. Corn is a good source of thiamine, one of the medium-sized ear, providing about 10% of the daily recommended intake of thiamine. You're supposed to have 10. How much thiamine are you supposed to have in a day? Vitamin E and vitamin A. Corn contains smaller amounts of these vitamins. Magnesium. Corn is a good source of magnesium. Okay, I guess it does have nutritional value. Prebiotic fiber. Flatbread. We'll get back to the sports tomorrow. Congratulations to the Dodgers, though. Would fire that bread. Naan. It's like naan. Super. It's beautiful. He's cooking all that on a stone. That's... What's the dude's name? Salt Bay, who be doing the thing? Isn't that what he be doing those with? Nice little russet, little russet action. All that going straight on that stone. That feels appropriate. I had a steak today. Did I tell you guys? Oh, yeah, I told you I had a steak today. I know. No, but genuinely, just as a wrap up, because I don't think he's going to be cooking these steaks much longer. Oh, the one thing I'll tell you is that I get over meat, but when you look at it, it just looks so. Sometimes it can just look so appetizing, so good. Like some kind of butter, garlic butter. This motherfucker be hooking it up. Couple tomatoes in there. Got his potatoes going. Get both sides of that bad boy. Get that garlic butter. Can you deep squat? If you haven't been working on it, hold on. Every once in a while, you just need a deep squat. Make it a part of your daily routine. It's important. All right. As this meal gets finished cooking, central bookings, my dog wants to go out and take a poop or something. Or get some water. You want to go back to your bed? Yeah. There's your bub. You gonna come say goodbye? You gonna come say goodbye? You gonna say goodnight? You gonna say night night? Tell the people night night? Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Not in the mouth. Super. You knocked out my headphone jack, dude. I love you too. Okay, get there. Hold on. You need to wait. Let me tell the people good night. Say good night to the people, then I'll take you. Get off my foot. All right, he's got to go. He wants to go. Oh, that's a beautiful looking plate. There's that corn thing that he made. I don't know if he ruined it. It's fine. I just don't like corn. But, is that a grapefruit? Looks like a grapefruit. That's not no grapefruit. That's a melon. Of some type. This has got like ex special forces or something. Oh, he uses the herbs to clean his knife. Gangster. Certified gangster. A little bit of that naan, a little bit of that naan. Rip a piece of that. Get you some of that wood chutney. I don't know what it is. Get you a piece of steak. Throw it on there. Grab you one of them tomatoes. Couple 2 pieces of steak. Potato. Oh, shit. The hookup. Give it to me. Super. Come on. You know what we want. Don't be stingy with it. Give it to us. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ski. All right. Love y'all. Bye. No, seriously. I love you. I love you.
And now it's time to play everybody's favorite game,